It says recording.
Okay.
Great.
Hi, Rachel.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. I wanted to ask you what your purpose for coming to counseling today is.
Yeah, as you know, I work as a teacher and I have always been doing that for a while and I really enjoy being in the classroom and I enjoy feeling like I can make a difference, especially um, with some of the kids that other teachers find more difficult. I enjoy being someone who can see the good in them. um, Particularly because I teach drama, so it's not really high stakes content. We can enjoy and have fun and learn some stuff, but I'm not, might be harder to enjoy the squirrely sixth graders if I was trying to teach everyone math. And in drama, it's not um, high stakes. But I'm just lately feeling really burned out and feeling like I'm more tired. And like when I'm going into the classroom, I'm dialing it in. It's a little bit of a difficult grade this year. Um, a little more disrespectful just on tone. It's a small school with really, I know, like overall really good kids. I don't have major problems like I know some teachers have, but I guess what I mean is it's wearing me out more. And especially with my kids getting older at home, um, I've just been feeling like just tired. Like my body is tired and I feel burned out and like I'm not doing as good of a job as I want to be. But I'm feeling also the tension of feeling burned out, but thinking that, like, for our family's financial situation, I probably really need to work I would like to quit and be done, but I really probably need to work one more year before switching into counseling full time, like the last year while I'm in school. Um, and the idea of that even makes me tired. I'm burned out and then I'm tired and the ideas are making me more tired.
My gosh, so you're very tired right now,
Tired.
um, because of everything in your life, your work situation with a certain age of ch kids that can be really challenging, and also being in school.
hmm Yeah, I'm feeling like if I guess these are like fantasy thoughts, but I'm feeling like if I could quit, I really need to turn in notice now if I'm going to be done in June. I could quit now where I knew I was going to be done in June, and then I feel like it would give me a little energy to like try and finish well, but I'm feeling stuck. Like I probably should not do that. It is feels risky and maybe beyond risky, maybe like not wise to um see if I could do something else to like side hustle um to make up for the gap in finances that would leave our family with. Um, but I'm having dread about, oh my gosh, another year, and also maybe some guilt over dread of another year, and also guilt that I'm not doing as good of a job as I did in the beginning, or as good of a job as I know that I'm capable of if I'm not burned out, if I'm like really energized and refreshed,
Mhm.
and I can find a lot of joy in being in the classroom. But it's been harder. There have been a lot more moments where I'm just looking at the clock, like it's almost over and I almost get to go home. So there's a
Yes.
lot. It's simple, it's not complicated, but there's a lot swirling there.
Yes, there really is. Yeah, you're getting really burned out and you are feeling like you've got to weigh some really important factors, um, like the financial stability of your family. Um, and but the thought of having that one more year is weighing really heavy on you right now because you feel like you need some kind of motivation to get through this really hard section of time.
Hmm.
And knowing that you would have an exit plan in place would be that thing that would help
Right.
you get through.
Right.
And but then realizing that probably the wiser choice is to stay one more year.
Hmm.
But
Yeah, exactly.
you're really struggling internally with that decision because there's a big part of you that's feeling like you just can't do one more year.
Yes, at least I can't do it. I know I can look at the clock throughout a whole year and dial it in, and it would be nobody's, gonna suffer in their education because of it. But I just feel like um, I could do it. I would really rather not. I would really rather not. Um, but adulting. So I think that's where I'm feeling stuck is that um, the hopeful or optimistic, no, the idealistic part of me that wants to go, okay, I did this well for a season and I'm studying something else and I'm going to move into something else. And here's the ideal way of moving in, transitioning from this one thing where it demands a lot of my energy to be in front of the classroom. And it's not like everyone sit quietly and write something on a paper. It's like requires a lot of energy and requires me summoning a lot of energy. And so the idealistic part is like, okay, I could end this year, I could finish strong, I could um, have, my counseling path would take off like in a year and a half from then. So it would be like, that would include practicum and internship. Like idealistically, that would be such a beautiful way of like transitioning seasons. But then there's the adult thought part, which is helpful and healthy, but just
Hmm.
um, that may not be possible, that may not be wise, and the tension of the idealistic, wouldn't that be nice? Is but the lack of that being reality, really. Um, The other thing that makes it complicated is my husband's self-employed and his business ebbs and flows. So it's actually really hard to know. It might be easier for me or something I wish were reality, is that we would know very clearly, absolutely not possible. This is required to make this year function. But because I don't know, that hope, idealistic, like, wouldn't that be nice, kind of stays alive. And so while I'm feeling trapped, I'm also feeling like if we could just figure out, no, it's not next year, it has to be one more year. I think even that would help me settle a little bit
Mhm.
into not swirling with the like, can I, can't I, should I, shouldn't I, or like, I'm burned
Right.
out. Do I have to keep doing it? Um, it might, I wish that it was reality that I could just know and have the exit plan. But if not that, it would even be easier if I knew that there was no exit plan. But that kind of unknown feels like it's demanding a lot of energy as well.
Yeah, what I'm hearing you say is there's some factors out of your control that is making your decision very difficult
Mhm.
because there's nothing solid for you to hinge it on.
Right.
Um, I was going to ask you what would the worst thing be if you did exit earlier rather than later, but I'm from what I'm hearing, it's sounding like you might not be able to answer that question because um I don't know how would it feel for you to try and nail something down with your husband, how would that feel or would that be possible?
I think it would feel settling to know the situation well enough to know one way or the other. Like I can feel that even in my chest of like a relief of anxiety, maybe of like whether it's yes or whether it's no, knowing is better
Right.
to me.
Hmm.
But I think the reason it's complicated is because I tend to be realistic bordering on too optimistic, and he is w like way in optimism land where don't, I actually suspect that, and we've had the conversation, but if we sat down and said we have to have an answer in 1 hour, he doesn't want me to do something that is hard and that I'm dreading and feeling so burned out. He wants to relieve me of that, which is kind. But because of that, I don't completely trust his view of reality of whether that is possible or not. I feel that he might go, you can't do it, just don't do it and tell them and we'll figure it out. But then I feel that could put us in a situation of more stress down the line because it's not like with my job, it's this awful situation that I cannot even stand it. I can't get myself to go to work every day. I feel burned out. I feel tired. I know lots of teachers that teach while feeling burned out for decades. So it's not, kind of back to that adulting thought. I just don't have, I see that his intention is like caring for me and my well-being, but I don't have a lot of trust that he's not living in like this land of hopefulness or optimism that's actually avoiding reality.
So you're kind of carrying the weight of the decision more on your side because you feel like you're being more realistic about what is actually possible. And he just wants to please you
Yeah,
to the detriment of making a decision that really is based on reality.
right.
um, or
Absolutely.
or just something that a little bit solid that you could depend on.
Right. Right. And because of the self-employment thing, I think it's really hard for us to know for sure ahead of time. And so he would prefer, I mean, without really knowing he's doing it, but he would prefer to go, okay, great, we'll deal with that. If a problem comes, we'll deal with that when it comes. But also with the finances piece, we have three kids. One is going to be a senior, and then I'll have a sophomore and an eighth grader, and they're all in private school, and they're all like so expensive. Children are so expensive. And so I also am not, I would rather work this last year and have it be more stressful than change any of their circumstances. If I really did felt like, oh my gosh, I'm so burned out, I cannot do this, we could make a change there. But I would rather not. So I'm not so desperate to leave. I just am burned out, if that makes sense.
Yeah, everything you're saying, really hearing all the angles that you have in front of you, um, and it makes sense to me how burned out you're feeling.
Hmm.
You're carrying quite a load from all angles, including making, the wise decision about staying when you really are feeling stretched thin.
Hmm.
Um, so it sounds like the problem is that you would like to have a plan and you're having a hard time figuring out a way to make the plan for
Yes.
figuring out like a solid plan. Um,
Yes.
and how would it be if you were unable to make a plan, if nothing ever got pinned down and it just continued as it is?
I think my um you can I'm a thinker, obviously, so I'm like analyzing from every angle, but if I know I need to do one more year, which would involve, trying to juggle teaching while also in part of my practicum potentially, which would be complicated. If I knew I needed to do that, then I think I could ask for some changes to my job or to my schedule, particularly ones that maybe protect me from the parts that are the most draining. Um, and I know I can ask for what I want or what I need, and they can say yes or no. But I think it would feel better to have a plan in place. So if I cannot pin down a plan, an exit plan based on reality, then I'd prefer and would opt to make a backup plan, which is to stay, but maybe brainstorm what are the things that I could ask for that could change that would help make it potentially less draining or less difficult um, with my life and schedule and having a senior, and all those sorts of things.
Okay. So, um, how would it feel to you if some of the backup plan things happened? Like, say you were able to cut, as you said, some of the things at work
Mhm.
that were the most stressful. Um,
I think those things would be enough of a relief that I could keep going, especially knowing it's like only 9 more months, or not right now, but
right.
like at the end of the year when I could be done, it's like just 9 more months. And
Got
so
it.
that
Hmm.
it would feel okay. Like I feel like I can wrap my brain around that.
Okay. Well, we're coming to the end of our session, and I feel like we were able to kind of come to an understanding of the problem. And I would encourage you to think about um, some of the backup plan options that you're talking about, and also plan one.
Yeah.
And when we meet next, we can try some of those on and see if if it's lightening some of this burden that you're feeling right now.
Hmm. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Good job. You're good at that. Identify one or two areas of strength. I could tell you were really listening to me. I could tell you understood even when I was rambling. You were tracking and you were following me. Your minimal encouragers and eye contact were, um, I could tell in real time, even as I felt myself kind of going, blah, 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 I felt like I was taking a rambly route and you were taking the straight route. And I didn't feel corrected or anything. I just felt like you were with me. So I think that was really strong and helped me feel understood. And gosh, there was something that you said. I was like going like this. I can't remember what it was, but if you watch it
Hmm.
back, I was like, um, something that you said that now I can't remember. I was like, that wasn't exactly what I was saying. That was actually what was underneath what I was saying, which made me
Okay.
feel like, oh, that's true. And also you were discerning that rather than just um like reiterating what I had said, which
Got
was
it.
that was
Mhm.
really, really good and helpful. And I'm so sorry, I can't remember exactly what
You
the
know, and
phrase was.
I'll go back and see if I can figure out what that was. That's good to know, though. That makes me feel good.
that was really, really good and helpful. And I felt like all of your responses helped facilitate. Um, that was really, that was really good. I didn't feel any of your responses broke connection, even at the very end when there was like a longer pause while you were thinking about what to say. But I really appreciated knowing you weren't speaking without thinking. Like, so
Mm.
there were no, I didn't feel anything was a negative or, like I felt like you caught what I was saying. And
Mhm.
especially, I don't always feel like I'm rambling so much, but today I felt kind of rambly, like my thoughts weren't a straight shot, like I said. But I felt like you were still tracking, which I think was really nice. I thought your nonverbals were great. And I also liked, there was one time when you had thought to ask a question, what would the worst be? And then you were like, but actually, it sounds like like the last thing you said, answer that question. So I'm going to ask a different question. I liked how you pivoted there
Mm.
too. Um, and nothing that you said was not accurate, um, or needed, um, even clarification. I just felt like, oh, I'm so sorry. I thought I was on silent. I felt like there was nothing there. I thought it was really good.
It's really good. I mean, I felt like I was thinking, oh, I want to try and because we're talking about attunement, lately and trying to really dig down into the feeling level of things.
Hmm.
Um, and I mean, the one thing I was thinking I would have wanted to dig in a little deeper on was this dynamic that you're having in your marriage where you feel like you're dealing more in reality and
Hmm.
he's dealing more in pleasing,
Hmm.
and how that can feel really heavy. Like you need to be the responsible
Yes.
party for carrying that load. And so in my head, I was thinking like, it would be great if we could go back and really spend a little more time in this spot,
Hmm.
um, because my hunch is that it's a theme that
Yes.
affects you. It's maybe
Right.
one of the big things affecting your burnout right now, right?
Hmm.
Because you're the lack of plan and and you're feeling like you
Right.
hold more responsibility
Hmm.
in keeping the decisions on the side of protecting survival or whatever
Yeah.
and I got to shut the door.
Oh, you're fine. It's great.
My mom, my mom is literally like a toddler now. It's so
Oh,
sad.
that is sad.
But anyways, yeah, so it just I didn't I could have maybe taken it to that place and I'm not sure how I could have or should have or would have. That's something I'm gonna when I go back and look at the verbatim, um, I'll see if there was any way I could have done that. Yeah, and
That was actually the thing that you said, now that I'm thinking of it, when you described the dynamic of like reality and not reality, that I was like, yes, 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 that you got. And actually, I think maybe there was a way you could have dug in on that in this session, but you only had 20 minutes, and that was like, I don't
that's
know,
a big
maybe 15 minutes in and kind of a big topic. So that does feel like something that you caught that you would then, such a good counselor skill that you could go back to in a future
right.
week. Like, hey, you mentioned that, and let's talk more about that. I wouldn't have been uncomfortable if you took it there, but I did feel like you caught a part of the dynamic that is difficult, um, at times and that we're, constantly working on. Um, so
Yeah.
I think that was really good. Whether or not you could have, should have, would have, taken it there, even though you didn't, I felt like you caught it and you
Yeah, it was
reflected it
there.
back to
It
me.
was, I mean, we did touch on it. Yeah. Because I mean, my hunch is that it may be something causing more feelings than you even realize. Like it's just a subtext that's
Yeah.
going on for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That, wow. I think I realize a lot of the feelings it causes, but I mean, that's a kind of a constant conversation that we have about, um, I don't know if you Enneagram. Do you know the Enneagram,
Yes.
that test? We're both sevens. And so
Okay.
really both of us would like to not be in reality, but like somebody has to. So I'm like, I guess it's me, but I'd really like, it's a constant conversation that we have of like, I'd like for you also to really practice
My
more of that.
gosh.
So, but yeah,
I'm
you,
gonna stop recording because I want to say some stuff off
okay.
this recording.